Beautiful Swiss lady today. Woo, let's do it. Woo, buddy. Let me tell you something else. It's gonna be a good day, I can tell already. Guys, welcome back. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today, got a very special PDW for you. This is a B&T APC 9K, the K version of the APC 9. Woo, buddy, I know why the military wanted these now, because this is one sweet shooting gun. I've heard a lot of hype about these things, and I've been, of course, you know, I'm a little skeptical when I hear about all the hype that goes on with a certain platform. You know, I went through it with the Strybog. I went through it with the CZ Scorpion when the hype was real on that, you know, kind of out there. But on this, yes, the hype's confirmed. This is certainly one sweet PDW. I got this particular one from the kind folks at Moss Pawn & Gun. Michelle had one in stock, and I was able to get one out here to do some testing with for you here today. Really nice setup. It does come with a tri-lug adapter. So we are running a tri-lug Omega 9K from Silencer Co. on this, just to kind of take the edge off, and that's working quite nicely. Fantastic little setup here. It is completely ambidextrous in terms of the layout of the gun. You have ambidextrous magazine release, bolt stop, charging handle, safety lever, okay? Safety is very intuitive and a nice, comfortable location you would totally expect that to be in. The trigger is fantastic on this particular gun. Very little take up, absolutely no creep. A super, super clean break on the trigger. Nice light trigger pull, so nothing to complain about there. You have M-LOK rail sections, which can be removed. I know that was one thing that Chad and I were talking about here initially, was that it comes with pieces of pick rail installed from the factory on the side of the receiver. You could totally pull those off of there, and there's an M-LOK slot underneath. If you wanted to run like an Arisaka flashlight mount, that's an M-LOK variety, to be able to push your flashlight up a little bit further. Hey, bug, get out of here. So you could do that if you wanted to. Now, the only issue with a weapons light, hey, pal, let's go now, is that you could totally run a pressure pad, but the only issue is because of the location of the charging handle, you wouldn't really be able to get a weapons light like up on top. You know, I know some people like to top mount their pressure pads. That's something you probably wouldn't be able to do. You would have to come up with another solution, or just reach up and turn it on, because it's a very short setup, which is awesome. This has a folding SB MP5 brace on it. Yeah, son. So that puts it into a really compact package, super compact. Running a Steiner MRS. This is their ruggedized micro red dot sight, which is amazing. And I thought the Steiner would kind of fit into the whole European thing. That's what I was going for here. And we got this particular optic by way of our friends at Optics Planet. Wonderful, wonderful group of people. They take good care of us when we need optics for stuff. So check them out and everything like that. All right, magazines. You can get 20s and 30s. The magazines are a little bit on the expensive side. Actually had kind of a hard time finding magazines for this gun. Got on Big Daddy Unlimited. They have a lot of great stuff for a really good price, and I was able to get on Big Daddy and find some of these in stock. And even though I got a great deal on these mags on Big Daddy, they still were like 36 or 38 bucks, which is not a cheap magazine. So the magazines are a little bit pricey. That's just one thing that I happen to notice in terms of overall cost of ownership. Now, there is a version of this gun called the Pro that has Glock mag compatibility. One of the requirements for the military contracts, both with Germany and with the United States, was that the gun needed to have AR-15 grip compatibility, which this lower does, okay? It needed to have a non-reciprocating charging handle, which this one does, and it needed to accept Glock pattern magazines. So those magazines are available in terms of compatibility with this gun. Now, whether or not the lowers are available separately, I'm not sure on that. I'd have to check. I just did a quick search on that. But this one is set up to run, you know, the standard B&T sticks. They are a little bit pricey, but overall, not too bad. They work. All right, we're gonna run some Norma Envy. This is a 124 grain PDW optimized round. I've only got 20 rounds of this stuff left, but let's give it a shot here and try out the Norma Envy. This is certainly a great round in 9mm, especially for your PDWs. Let's see how accurate it is. Yeah. All right, couple out of here at long range. Nice 35 yard group there. Certainly, trust me, if the if the motorcycle gang of bears is on top of you, you certainly got a good package here. All right, 75 yards with the K here. Not too bad there, probably about the size of a grapefruit down there, 75 yards. Okay, we're gonna shoot some of these Remington subs. These are 147 grain. Actually, that's full velocity 147 grain at 990 feet per second. Let's try these Remingtons out. All right, I'm gonna pick up the pace a little bit, have some fun. Yeah, love it. Okay, Fiocchi 150 grain or 158 grain subsonic. These are moving at 850. So this is a slow heavy. And again, I've only got 20 of these left, but we're gonna try it. I will say the magazines load very nice. And I do like the available overall length in the magazine on the B&T mags. It is a fairly generous magazine. They did take into account the larger projectiles, the longer projectiles. So that's very smart there, that it should run just about anything that says 9mm on it in terms of overall length in the magazine. And these 158s are pretty long, right, Chad?
They are.
Okay, yeah. So let's see how these feed. These should be pretty quiet too. Yeah, that's accurate. Man, you know, it just seems like these little PDWs really prefer like a 124 or heavier bullet. It just seems like the heavier projectiles tend to shoot better. I'm gonna put a couple of these down in the dirt just so you can hear how quiet this is with the Omega 9K on it. All right, so in the dirt. In the dirt. All right, I'm gonna put one on the plate down range at 35. 75. 25. In the dirt. How about long range in the dirt, back at 75? You can hear the thud down range. So that Omega 9K does really take the edge off. I wouldn't consider it the most quiet suppressor you can get for a PDW, but it definitely takes the edge off. And for me, that's good enough for me. All right. Last round's a charm. All right. Bolt hold open, working really nice on that. I do feel like this particular gun, you know, it is a blowback. It is a little bit gassy, maybe just a little bit. I've noticed a little bit more gas back in my face, but overall not too bad. I will say this gun does ship with some backup iron sights. And one thing that I noticed right out of the box were not only were the iron sights not even close to being regulated, but one thing I noticed too is look how tall they are. When you place the brace up to your shoulder and look, the sights are so kind of freakishly high. that you've got to get like a chin weld to even come close to shooting them. So I kind of feel like the backup sights on this particular gun were a little bit of an afterthought. Now maybe on their 5.56 and 308 carbines, I mean, B&T makes a bunch of different stuff, not just 9mm caliber stuff. You know, they do a whole range of different guns. A lot of people don't know that. They associate B&T with like military contracts or with furniture and accessories. But I do feel like the iron sights are a little bit of an afterthought. That's just my opinion. The Steiner though is the perfect height for this particular gun. All right, so a lot of folks were asking if we would test some of the hollow point ammo. I did read some complaints that people were having out of the GMH-9 with hollow point ammunition. This uses the same magazine as the GMH-9. Okay, so we're gonna try some hollow points here. We've got 147 grain standard pressure Federal white box, and we're gonna move on to some 124 grain standard pressure hollow points. See how this runs here. Look at that. Failure feed off the top. So that's it's not good. Yep. Let's try pulling the charging handle back all the way. I did try just releasing the bolt stop. We'll see if that helps. Maybe that's what it was. We'll try that again on the next one. All right, let's try a couple here. Wow, let me tell you something. That ammo is highly accurate out of this particular gun. I think I know why we might have had that first round not want to get in the chamber right. I will mention that when you lock the bolt to the rear on this particular pistol, the bolt throw in terms of the way the charging handle actuates the front of the bolt, it is a very short throw, and you have to pull that thing back to a pretty hard stop. At least the way it's perceived is that you have to pull it back pretty hard. But I noticed too that there's a bit of travel for this bolt, right? If I release the bolt, if I just hit the bolt release, okay, and the bolt goes forward, it's right up against there, versus if I pull back all the way, there's like a good solid 1/16 of an inch or more worth of travel. And I feel that that probably has some effect. Certain bullet shapes, or maybe if the gun is getting dirty, that's something you probably want to consider, you know, pulling that thing back to a hard stop. So let's see if the whole hard stop thing happens with the other magazine of 124. All right, so I'll lock the bolt to the rear. It's very easy to pull the bolt to the rear. I will say it does require a good bit of force. Okay, you got to pull it back pretty hard. I guess there's a pretty strong mainspring in there. All right, let's see if it does it with the Federal 124s. I'm just gonna release the bolt stop. Okay, that worked. It may have just been that heavier projectile, that shape. Look guys, anytime you're running any type of PDW, carry gun, anything like that, I know it's hard because I know carry ammo is expensive, but buy whatever round is your favorite that you like to use and test whatever gun you intend to carry thoroughly with whatever carry ammo you intend to use. I mean, that's just common sense. Everybody should try to do that. I know it's expensive, but if it's something you're gonna trust your life to, make sure, okay? That could be a manual of arms thing. That could just be something I did slightly different. It could be that round, the ogive of that projectile, the weight of that projectile, the shape of the hollow point. So many things can determine whether or not something's gonna feed correctly, okay? I'm not making excuses. It just is what it is, right? It's just the laws of physics we have to deal with. All right. Let's have some fun. Yeah, buddy. Those 124s never disappoint. That's exceptional there. All right, that was the HST nickel-plated 124s We'll probably try the 147s again. All right, this is the Norma Hexagon. This is their match grade 124. And this is a type of hollow point. It's not an expanding projectile, but it does have a very unique bullet shape and the ogive of this bullet. So we're gonna run some of this. This is not their PDW optimized round. This is their handgun optimized round, but this is match grade 9mm ammo. Let's give it a try. Good stuff. Yeah, we're getting this thing pretty warm. That's okay. Yeah. You know, I want to think that maybe that one failure to feed just upon the first round of the mag might have just been a little bit of a fluke, okay? Not too bad. That's why we test this stuff. Okay, more of the Norma Hexagon. And then I've got some full pressure 115 grain Fiocchi here that we're gonna run. That's probably gonna tie things up pretty solid here. All right, Norma Hexagon. Boy, that stuff shoots good. And that Omega 9K just takes the edge off. That's a great suppressor for that. Really like it. I'm going a little fast, but that's okay. Woo! She's getting a little bit warm. Not bad. All right, I will mention real quick, I'll let this thing cool just a second while I'm talking here. The takedown of the gun is very, very simple. You've got two pins here. It is a one-piece sort of monolithic upper, a pick rail on the top and bottom that are integral to the receiver, M-LOK rails on the side. That does equate to some heat transfer, of course, as the gun begins to get hot, but we've been shooting it a lot. I mean, do not have gloves on, and I've got my hand on it, no big deal. It would not be a deal breaker in terms of the heat, so the heat transfer is not too terrible. It's a neat setup. I will mention that the sling mounting for this is a little bit limited. When you buy these particular guns, you only get one magazine with the gun, which I feel, I mean, for the price, it'd be nice to get at least 2 or 3 mags or something with the gun. I feel like the iron sights are a little bit of an afterthought. Like when you buy the Strybogs, you get the brace, the end cap, and 3 mags for the money. It'd be nice to see that. You know, they put a sling mount right up here on front, and that sort of doubles as a bit of a hand stop. I can see with a K, they probably want to have a hand stop from the factory just to, you know, keep people from getting their hands close to the end of the muzzle. You could change around this configuration a little bit to optimize it for a QD point. It would have been nice to maybe see like a QD point on the end of the receiver, something to be able to, you know, snap a QD sling point in there. But there's enough rail space, despite this being a K, to equate to that, no problem, make room for that. All in all, look, this thing scores ridiculously high marks with me. I am super, super happy with this setup. In its collapsed configuration, or let's just say folded configuration, this is a nice compact package that can certainly fit into a wide variety of different everyday carry type of situations, whether a truck gun or a backpack gun or something like that. It does have a piece of 550 that's back here, so you could set this thing up on a wolf tail if you wanted to, right out of the gate, which is nice. All in all, I really, really like this gun. They are a pricey option for some, but they certainly are the top of the heap in terms of PDWs. All right, I'm gonna run a good bit of this Fiocchi 115, and then we're gonna try another mag of the 147 grain Federal just to see if maybe that one misfeed was a fluke. All in all though, not bad. The magazines are very easy to load. Plenty of overall length, as I said, for a wide variety of different projectiles. So cool stuff. And we're getting this bad boy pretty hot. Running just fine. Yeah, that's dealing with problems right there, boys and girls. I hit an innocent bystander, it's okay. He's in the wrong place at the wrong time. All right, I'm getting a little silly, but nice to know she'll run. Okay, last mag, last but not least, Federal 147 grain hollow points. She's getting hot, boys and girls. Okay, now that thing I said about the heat earlier, all right, she's getting a little warm. All in all, whew. Okay, same ammo, chambered fine that time, so might have just been a minor fluke. All right, we got a few sodas. Get those right out of here. All right, look, headshots at 35 yards with hollow point ammo after I've heated this thing up to the living daylights. Still popping headshots at 35 yards. I mean, not even thinking about it. This thing is just super intuitive. Yeah, all right. Yeah, the hype's verified, guys. This is certainly a sweet gun. They do represent a considerable expense, but they are a nice option for those of you with the bread to get one. They certainly are fantastic pistols, and I can attest to that. I'm very happy with this gun, and this is certainly something I'd trust my life to in a heartbeat. I do want to mention, all right, you notice where I've been holding the mag well. Look at all the gas blowback. So we are getting some gas actually through the mag well, apparently, okay? But that's okay. I would rather, most of the gas, now the slow-mo will kind of give us an idea though, most of the gases coming out appear to be coming through the mag well, and it's not really in my face quite so bad, so it suppresses really nice. I can deal with a little gas on my hands. I'd rather it be there coming through the mag well than coming back in my face. So that I like, and I would imagine on select fire, that's probably a lot more apparent as to where those gases are going, but I like it. This is a cool setup. Definitely want to take a moment to thank all of our Patreon supporters for supporting us. Thank you guys so much for the support and for being awesome. Y'all are amazing. Thank you. All the folks who purchased man cans, t-shirts, and other merch over on Ballistic Ink and over on our website. Thank you so much for the support. Guys, we've got t-shirts, beanies, hats. We got hoodies. We got jackets. We got G-Shock watches. We got man cans. We got everything a grown boy needs. So if you love the channel and you love what we do and you wish to support us, those are the most direct ways you can do so. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. Many more videos on the way. I'm going to clean this bad boy up and load it back up with some hollow point ammo, and I'll have me a good little bedside gun. All right, if the bump in the night comes, you better look out.